Hello everyone and welcome back, hope you're having a great day and we're all doing well. The Battle Pass for Operation New Blood is here, and of course we have a bunch of new lore in it. Now a lot of this Battle Pass is centered around the restructuring of the recruit system inside of Rainbow and how they go about training them. And if you don't understand the full story, I have my entire lore video for 2024 coming out this week, so be sure to stay tuned for that. And I also have my recruit lore video as well to help you understand the new recruit system inside of the lore. So this Battle Pass starts off with a comment from Deimos talking to Ash, and he says, "Tell me, Cohen, is duty above all still painted on the recruit barracks walls? I was the one who put it up there. It must be hard knowing that I wrote the playbook, the same one that every recruit follows, the same one you had to read when you joined the program. I remember every word, put a lot of care into it, designed it to push a soldier to their limit. I wanted them to feel special, that Rainbow chose them for a reason, and I believed it, but that was the past, before Rainbow abandoned its integrity. I wonder, did my words inspire you? Are you here because you looked up to me? Well, here's one final lesson." And now I'm going to assume that that little bit of story is going to be continued either in the mid-season comic or next season, because looking at the Battle Pass itself, it's more focused on the recruits and our operators training them. The first one we have here is by Thorn, and she says, "Mira asked me to rewrite the recruits training routine from scratch. I know she's pissed about Morris, but that's going to take months." And it seems like this is during a conversation with Solace, as Solace replies by saying, "Rewrite the manual? Yikes. What's next? Repaint the Mona Lisa?" This next one by Mira is quite important, and it says, "Due to the events at Tower, all recruits have been reassigned to Hereford for their protection and further training." This just really goes to show the impact the Tower attack had. And I think reassigning them to Hereford, at least for the time being, is the right call. Now this one for Glaz looks pretty basic on the surface. However, it seems like it's actually referencing an ex-Greek Rainbow operative, and I just want you to keep in mind, next season, Year 9 Season 3, is bringing us a Greek operator. And he says, "Some of the best mentoring I ever received was at a sharpshooting competition." And now this seems to be referencing his past with Kure Galanos, an ex-Greek Rainbow operative, as way back in Year 2, she was mentioned to be one of the influences for Glaz. So this could be talking about Glaz's favorite mentorship being with Kure, and if that is the case, I'm just saying that's quite an interesting operator to bring up before we're getting a Greek season in Rainbow Six Siege. Very interesting. Now this next one is really cool and something we've never really seen before, and it's actually from Gerald Morris in 2007. This is many years before he'd go off the radar and become Damos. And it says, "If you want to give up, recruit, this is your out. Training will only get harder from here." Quite cool to get a glimpse at the man before Damos. Now I really like this one from Aruni, and she's talking to Thermite, so she has made contact from Nighthaven, and she says, "Hey Jordan, it's been a while. I keep hearing things. Want to meet up for a drink and talk about it?" Now, I think this might be my favorite one in the past because we do know that Aruni and Thermite do have a really good friendship. They were both on that operation together where she lost her arm and leg and Thermite got his burns. And they are just really good friends. And if you've been paying attention to the lore recently, Thermite's kind of been spiraling a bit. He's not been the same since the initial confrontation with Deimos, and people are starting to get worried about him. So it's really nice that Aruni has reached out, and hopefully he takes her up on that offer. Next up, we have Finka talking to Aruni, and she says, "I'm sorry, Aoife, but it looks like your body has started to reject the prosthesis. Luckily, we'll have time to work on a solution." So it seems like Aruni may need some new prosthetic limbs or even an alternative, maybe a suit to help support her body, since it does say that her body has started to reject the prosthetic limbs. Next up, we have one from Flores talking to Ash, who he always refers to as Capitana, and he says, "You know that I have complete faith in you, Capitana, but are you sure about Deimos?" Of course, this is referring to her decision in the last comic to work with Gerald in the field for information. The next one is by Ayana, and she says, "Looks like I'm heading off to Peru with Kispe. If Rainbow is under attack, we can't leave council members unprotected." Kispe is the surname of Amaru, and we did see one of the council members being targeted in the cinematic where Deimos attacks Emerald Plains. So this implies that there is one of them in Peru, and Ayana and Amaru are going to protect them. We have another one talking about Ayana from the perspective of Warden, who joined at the same time as her, and he says, "Look at her, tearing up that course. I remember when she first got here. Space girl with no confidence." And Warden's just talking about how Ayana has really improved over her time at Rainbow. We also have Valkyrie giving her opinion on the training, and she says, "Helping the recruits brings me back to Hell Week. I hate to admit it, but part of me misses the old unit." And Hell Week is a part of the training of the Navy SEALs, so she is talking about her experience pre-Rainbow. Thunderbird also has an interaction with Valkyrie where she says, Valkyrie, I understand you're excited to fly, but tail slides are not standard flight procedure. This is a procedure where you fly vertical and then loop round into a nosedive. And then when you return horizontally, your plane is upside down. At least that's what I think it is from the research I've done. We have a bit from Zofia talking about Ella, and she says, I remember when Ella found out I didn't have to go through recruit training. I've never seen her so angry. It's nice to hear Zofia talking about Ella again, especially since they've been separated for so long. This next one is a little bit by Twitch, and she says, the mind is finite. You can't expect someone to retain every lesson. Just some of her wisdom on the training of the recruits. This next one by Gridlock says, I appreciate the vote of confidence, Captain, but Zero's right. I'm not the right person to lead recruit training. So it seems like someone's trying to recommend her for recruit training, and I assume Thermite, considering she says Captain, and she is part of redhammer. But Zero, being the attacking recruit lead trainer, seemingly doesn't think Gridlock is up to it, and she agrees. We also have one from Buck talking to Gridlock, and it says, Gridlock, did you just say skydiving was on your bucket list? Maybe this has something to do with the plane that Valkyrie is going on as well. Next up, we have one from Dokubi talking to Flores, and she says, Flores, spicy food is an art. Let me show you the trick to making authentic lamyong. I think this is quite a fun little interaction because in the Battle Pass for Operation Heavy Metal, we could actually see this. And of course, Flores loves his cooking. Just a nice little interaction between the two ops. Next, we have a little piece by Striker A28. A nice way of showing that there are multiple recruits. This is specifically Striker A28 talking. There are other strikers in training. And this one says, Tachanka said this was his warm-up before mission. Is he insane? I'm ready to curl up in a bowl and die. I really like that we get the perspective from one of these strikers, and I wonder if Striker A28 is the one we are specifically looking at in game who is a British female. Next up, we have a little bit by Kaid saying, in order to make something stronger, you sometimes need to tear it down and rebuild it. Now he's talking about the recruits training system here, however, the same logic could be applied to how Deimos views Rainbow. A very interesting perspective, but we know Kaid doesn't feel that same way. We have a little bit here by Sense which says, daily drills are always so quiet. Let's liven up the place with some music. Immediately followed by Rook telling Sense to turn the music down. I think that's quite a fun little interaction. Echo is seemingly trying to get out of recruit training by saying, my yokai are in need of a diagnostic check. Do I have to be on the recruit training duty? I swear I was paying attention, Brava. You said something about cats, right? We also have an interaction between Ace and Wamai, and I'll be honest, I don't know which one of these goes first. Wamai says, Ace, I'm going back on my boat. Call me when we have a mission worth doing. And Ace says, Wamai, come drink with me. I'll even let you talk about your treasure hunting days. I feel like both of these sentences could go in front of the other, so I guess it comes down to how we interpret it. Thunderbird talks to Doc and says, come on Doc, when are you going to let me train the recruits? And as well as this, Ying talks to Thunderbird and says, you never went through recruit training, did you? Count yourself lucky. You don't seem the kind to respond well to constant yelling. Giving us a glimpse at how hard the recruit training was, and maybe because she never experienced it for herself, that's why she's so eager for Doc to let her get involved. We have a simple little one here of a drone skin, and it says, Brianna, why did you put a horse on my drone? And that is Sledge talking to Thorn, since they do have quite a good friendship that goes back. And I guess I should mention a lot of this battle pass is themed around the chessboard, and as well as this, there's a Trojan horse. I know there's some theories out there that there might be some bad and evil recruits, and this could be hinting to that. The next one is the defending recruit lead trainer Mira talking to the attack recruit lead trainer Sam Fisher. And she says, don't be stubborn, Sam. We have a team. Let them help with the recruits. So as we've heard throughout the battle pass, a lot of our operators are getting hands-on with the recruit training, and it seems like Sam would prefer that not to happen, and it maybe just sticks to him and Mira. And once again, there's more chess imagery, with this time it being a pawn. Does that have any relevance to who is talking? Who knows? We also have Pulse kitted out in some new Nighthaven gear, and he says, my accuracy is down. Maybe I should try Ace's R&R protocol. It looks like it's working for him. And IQ also has something to say about Pulse's new suit, and she says, new gear? How about we give it a test run? Meet me in the hangar. And it's really cool to see more of this tech which Nighthaven is making, and I would love if they would make suits like this for each of the Nighthaven op. Especially Osa. You guys are doing my girl dirty right now. Give her a good skin, please. But this seemingly being Pulse's Nighthaven suit is really cool, especially since not a lot of the skins in the Battle Pass are canon to the lore. This one is. And so that is everything in the Operation New Blood Battle Pass. Not as in-depth as other ones, but this one is more grounded, focusing on the training of the recruits as well as operator relations. So there was still a lot of really nice stuff to see in this. It was cool to see Nighthaven ops interacting again, especially between Aruni and Thermite. And overall, I think this was a pretty good Battle Pass lore. So be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about which one of these is your favorite. Drop a like on this video if you did enjoy, subscribe if you're new. I shall catch you all later. I love you all. Stay safe. Peace.